Hello, and welcome to episode 004 of the Sound Game Critique Podcast. I'm your host, Jesse James, and joining me today is my right-hand man, Todd Woodmansee.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, just doing this, whatever you call, podcast thingy, my Bobby. That was the fakest laugh I've ever heard in my life, Todd, by the way.
I was actually laughing. I don't know why you called it fake.
Oh, because you're fake. And joining me, as always, it seems as well, Colby Profitt.
Hey fellas, how's it going?
Well,
What's up, man?
Yeah, same old. So
Yeah, I'm still a special guest, by the way.
I don't know. You seem like you're reoccurring a lot. I don't know
I'm
who
just a
keeps
guest.
allowing this.
It's because Smash Brothers is that awesome that we have to keep him around until we have that Smash talk, and then we can kick him to the curb.
Smash talk.
Yeah, that is true. And
Jun.
my beer's almost already gone. Speaking of which, today sponsored Shock Top Belgian White.
Beer.
Wicked awesome beer.
Is that supposed to be something like Foster's?
No, that was supposed to be like a Bostonian accent, not an Australian one.
It sounded way closer.
Throw another shrimp on the babby. On the cat.
That was terrible.
Yeah, I know. I was trying to do a Bostonian accent, but say an Australian thing.
And the baby.
Put some Vegemite on my bagel.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Little twist at the end there for that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Not much is going on this week. Steam announced that they're going to be doing the largest one to date of their free weekend, a total of 10 free games. It's pretty interesting, minus the fact that I think most of us all already own all of these.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
it's cool. I mean, it's gonna be nice to be able to jump into the games, and the ones that are multiplayer, they're gonna have a larger population to play with.
Oh man, Awesome Knots.
You know,
would be fantastic on that.
it's not. I mean, it's multiplayer, but it's not mass multiplayer. Trine 2. Every time I see the name Trine 2, I think of the water and how well they did the water in that game.
Yeah, just everything in that game is so beautiful.
Yeah, the water is fantastic.
I remember I showed my girlfriend. I was like, "Hey, check out this game. It's really pretty." And she was like, "Okay." So I pulled it up, and she was like, "The water is amazing." And I was like, "Yes, I just want to swim in it for hours."
And that game is so system intensive. Like when we played it the other day at Zach's, Jesse, like it was stressing those two 770s to play that game on full settings.
Really?
Yeah, I mean it was kicking up. It was ridiculous.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, I mean there's some games on there that a lot of people haven't played, I think, like Blade Symphony. Like, have you guys even seen anything about that?
I actually just pulled up screenshots because I have no idea what it is.
That's
Yeah,
really
it's
funny.
like a tactical, like multiplayer sword fighting game. It's pretty cool looking.
That's really funny. I actually right-clicked and opened up in a different tab as well, just to kind of take a look at it.
Yeah.
I did too, but I wanted to like make it seem like I knew about the game.
Oh,
And then-
wow.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, obviously Tech Amp is pulling in the
It's the
wrong
kind-
thing.
It's the kind of journalism you can expect at Tech Amp Media.
Here
Oh,
at Sound
man.
Game Critique, though, we always make sure we do our research.
Ching. Who gave you all these stories today, Jesse James?
Actually, I saw the Steam free weekend. Thank you very much.
A little bird.
Yeah, a little bird called PC Gamer and
Little bird
slash
called Twitter.
Wait, hold on. Stories? You mean we didn't come up with this shit ourselves?
Yeah,
Oh?
Steam sent us a press release.
Yeah, they sent us an
Right,
email with like we got this information like a week ago. We knew it was going down.
I don't know about you. They sent me codes for all the games. I don't even have to have the free weekend.
Today's date is actually
Man, okay, so I'll give everybody the list. I'll put it actually in the link.
The show notes.
Yeah, there you go. But Awesome Knots, Blade Symphony, Company of Heroes 2, Don't Starve, Grid 2, Injustice, Killing Floor, which that's one of my favorite games right there. Payday 2, Trine 2, and XCOM Enemy Unknown. And man, there is some fantastic games in there. Like XCOM Enemy Unknown, if you do not have it and you want a tactical turn-based game, that is the game to get.
Oh yeah. And here's something that I'm like, I'm kind of excited about this, and I just thought about it, about this kind of thing and a Steam Box console, right? If this happened like twice a month, they had this big 10 game, big free weekend. Could you imagine what that would do for PC gaming as far as people wanting to buy those consoles? To have that kind of content for free?
Yeah, it would really pull a lot of more people in. I feel like Steam should work up with something where they would actually release a game free at least once a month. And I know that sounds crazy, but I mean, if you look, EA was doing it, and I mean they're still doing it, but they're doing it a lot lighter than that. It's like every few months they'll give one of their games around. Of course, I think they gave out Dead Space, and that's a fantastic game. It's old.
They gave out Dragon Age Origins the other week. So,
oh yes, that's right.
Which is like one of the best games ever, as far as I'm concerned, especially RPGs.
I remember my previous job. I would sit there and talk to customers on the phone and play Dragon Age Origins.
Yeah.
I could never get into it, but I think that's more or less me coming into it like a year or two ago, and then trying to play it, and then I'm just like, I don't really like the visuals, and I don't know why. I like games like that, but I don't like it.
Yeah, it's sort of like basically a Mass Effect 1 medieval, sort of. A little bit more tactical.
I would put it more closer to KOTOR, honestly.
Yeah, I think KOTOR was even a little more fast and loose than Dragon Age, though. You actually had to plan some stuff, especially in the early settings.
You know, it's kind of cool to see Don't Starve on here. I don't really feel like it gets as much attention as it should.
I think it's actually really popular.
Yeah, it is a really neat game, though.
I personally don't see much about it at all, or I haven't seen much about it ever. The only reason I ever heard about that game was because of you.
Well, I think I bought it in its beta form, and one of the last games that I actually did that, like it was early access. Mm-hmm. And that was probably actually my last early access game, which is one of the only ones that actually didn't soil the experience being early access. But they've added so much more, and I don't like. It's a good enough game to revisit that, but I don't think I want to revisit that.
Yeah, and they've added so much for free, and then they just put out that Reign of Giants. I think it's been a while. It's been a few months, but I think it was only like $9.99 new.
Now, is that the multiplayer that they're talking about?
I don't know. I think that just added like a rain like status, like you could get cold and wet, and it added like a whole bunch of other stuff. I haven't looked into it all that much, but I was kind of done with it after playing it for so long too.
Yeah, like I just burned myself out of it. It was a wonderful experience, and it's one of my favorite little survival games. But
definitely,
yeah, I probably will revisit it once they release the multiplayer where I can do it co-op. But other than that, I don't really see myself getting back into it.
Yeah, let me get off. If you'll allow it, Jess, let me get off Don't Starve real quick and go to Grid 2.
Go ahead, because I haven't played Grid 2, so.
Yeah, Grid 2 is such a love-hate relationship with me, okay? I love racing games. Absolutely love them. But Grid 2 is... Grid 1 was like... it was almost like Gran Turismo. You know, and that's like my favorite racing game of all time. Gran Turismo 5, Gran Turismo 3, stuff like that. Not so much 4. But Grid 2 takes that and sort of like condenses it down into simplified elements of a racing game, like a racing sim, and I don't know, I just don't like it all that much. But it's still probably one of the best racing games on PC. So if you like a racing game, like racing sims, Grid 2 is definitely something that you should play for free.
Uh, what's that? What's that game that's coming out here soon?
Project Cars.
Yep. Okay.
Oh God. Oh man, don't even get me started on that. It looks so good.
Which game?
Project Cars. It's a really good looking. Help me out with this, Colby.
It's a racing sim. But
it's a very, very big racing sim, right?
Yeah, it's a huge project, and they've been working on it for several years. And they actually had like their own sort of Kickstarter. Like it was a crowdfunding thing, but they did it through their own company. But they may have had other help in Indiegogo and Kickstarter. I'm not sure, but they had their own little like, if you pay so much, you get this level of, sponsor, and you can get this many. You can get like weekly demos, monthly demos, or like seasonal demos or something of each one that comes out.
Now, Star Citizen did that too, where they did their own little. You could pay through the website, and Starbound.
Branching off of Grid 2 just a little bit, Drive Club released this week for the PS4.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful game. I bought it, but the only problem is that their servers just won't work. You basically can't get online.
It is a Ubisoft game, right?
I honestly do not know.
Pretty sure it's Ubi, and I'm gonna look like an idiot if I'm not. But let's see.
Was it exclusive to the PS4?
I don't think so. Maybe.
Is that the same game that they're like, oh, you can get the whole United States and you can drive around, or is that?
It is PS4 only, yeah.
Or was that a different?
I thought that was The Crew.
Yeah, you're right. That's it.
No, that's probably what I was thinking was.
Yeah, The Crew is Ubisoft, but Drive Club is.
It's SOE.
Oh, that's even more disappointing.
SCE, actually.
I heard it's not really tight. The controls aren't tight. It plays like an older racing game, which that's kind of sad. Kind of sad to hear that.
I don't know if I agree with that. I played for like an hour and a half, and I had a blast. I didn't really feel like it was. I mean, it felt. I don't know. Drifting corners didn't feel like the average drifting corners. Like you actually felt like if you didn't do it right, you were gonna fucking slam into the wall, and the computers are not gonna wait for you. They're leaving you.
Yeah. I think racing sims like that are often very polarizing. And like either you love it or you hate it, and you expect an arcade and you get a sim, or you expect a sim and you get more arcade than you're willing to. And it's hard to please everyone on racing games, really.
Yeah, that's true. There's really no middle ground, I don't think, when it comes to that either.
Honestly, that Grid probably comes the closest to that, and there's a lot of people saying that it's too arcadey, and there's a lot of people saying that it's not fun because it's too simmy, and it's like you got to pick one or the other. And I think Need for Speed, Shift, also did something like that, and it was really good too. I try to stay away from Need for Speed usually, but it was really good.
Yeah. So yeah, people, free games on the weekend, 48 hours, I think. It starts, by the time this gets put out, it starts on the day before, so it starts on Thursday.
Yeah, it starts on at 10 a.m. Pacific on Thursday and ends at 1 p.m. Sunday Pacific.
Yeah. I hate Assassin's Creed, so...
Transition.
There's no smooth transition to this, so that's why I did that.
Yeah.
And then
you could have said, speaking of Ubisoft.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? I don't give a shit. Fuck Assassin's Creed. Now, I say this in a why the fuck? There is literally now going to be, I think I counted it, and I could be wrong, but 8 main games now since 2007. And they're releasing 2 games this year alone. That's a lot of Assassin's Creed games. And it's getting so fucking fatigued. And, like, don't get me wrong, they're usually pretty good games. The story's just... no one likes the story, it seems. Like, I've never heard anybody like, oh man, I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series. It's like, the only thing they really like is climbing up walls and jumping down and killing people. Like, the Assassin's Creed game that I love is is Black Flag. And to me, I'd rather just throw away the Assassin name and then just make a full-on pirate game.
Exactly.
Because that was a 10 times better of a game than any of the rest of the Assassin's Creeds. But they're making Rogue, well, the Rogue and Unity both get released, I think, around like November 13th or something like that. They get released at the same time. Now, Rogue will be on the older consoles and will come out on PC, I think, in December. And Unity comes out on the newer consoles. And I think it comes out on PC. It's just, that kind of just seems silly to me. Like, it just, I don't know. It pisses me off. It's just, I hate when series gets annualized like that. And then when now it's like, oh, here's 2 games. It's just, yeah. I feel like they could have taken that studio and tried to do a new IP or focus on something that they haven't done in a while.
And that is really just exactly it. Assassin's Creed has become a poster child for stretching out an IP way longer and way broader than the development studio deserves, the name deserves, and their talent deserves. Because they could have just as easily taken their skill and made an action game that just took a little bit different turn, from the storyline and that IP, and made a fantastic game.
Like
cough, cough, Shadow of Mordor, cough, cough.
Oh, so good. So good.
Yeah, I mean, that's good enough to say that it's not Assassin's Creed. It kinda is, but they could have just as easily taken this team that's doing Unity or this team that's doing Rogue and made something like that. Not to say that, Lord of the Rings is a new IP because it's done to death, but, make something new. And I know that developers or publishers don't like that, but, whatever. That's just my opinion on it, I guess.
What were you going to say, Todd?
Yeah, go ahead.
I like that they kind of they didn't really remove it per se, but they removed Lord of the Rings out of the game. Like, it's there, but it's subtle.
Right, yeah. It's more of a universe setting than anything really, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can totally see that. And Black Flag, I've said since it came out, it's just like, pirate sim. It has nothing to do with Assassin's Creed as far as I'm concerned.
Well, minus the fucking silly ass story.
Right. And the fact that when he gets on top of a totem pole, he has like magic vision.
I'm getting tired. Go ahead, Todd.
With all the Assassin's Creed game, like, I remember playing the first one, thought it was the most amazing game I'd ever played. I remember getting the second one and was like, this is still amazing. And then the third one came out and I was like, I'm playing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
It basically just constantly just feels like DLC.
Yeah. I pretty much, it went from playing the first Assassin's Creed, was like, oh my god, there's nothing to do besides this. And like, I like the concept, but like 2 really actually took it up and it actually felt good. And then after that, I just said, fuck it, I don't care about it right now, up until Black Flag. And now I don't care about it again. Because that's just, what?
Oh, I just scoffed, sorry. But yeah, that's exactly the path that I took as well. Just straight from 2 to Black Flag.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's just how it goes. Speaking of disappointment, guys, what games have really let you down? Starting with Todd Woodmansee.
A game that really let me down that I don't know if a lot of people know about it is part of the SOCOM series. SOCOM 4 came out for the PS3, and it was built up for all of the SOCOM gamers to be, exciting. And SOCOM was different than all of the other shooters, where in SOCOM, when you died in the match, you're dead. There's no coming back. It actually, it makes it so each kill you get actually has value, and each death is actually detrimental. And SOCOM 4 came out, and it wasn't the same. Like, it was like playing Call of Duty. And I bought the game for the aspect of, the difference between the two, but whenever we got on it, it was like, this is terrible.
I loved the first SOCOM, but past that, I don't think I played another SOCOM, but I remember getting it on PS2, and that was one of the first console games that was actually done really well on multiplayer, and I played the shit out of it multiplayer. We even, like, me and my brother went out, took our own money, and bought the little LAN adapter bob that costs like $50 to get online, and we played the hell out of SOCOM. It was really enjoyable.
I am a huge SOCOM fan. Like, unbelievable. Like, if a SOCOM came out tomorrow, I would spend so much money on it. I mean, I played two. I played one. I played two. I played three. I played Combined Assault, which is was basically considered to be three, and it's my favorite game series of all time. Nothing has beat that game for me.
Really?
I've spent such a huge chunk of my life playing multiplayer on SOCOM and formed some of the best friendships that I still have to this day.
Damn. That is a letdown.
So whenever I got on SOCOM 4 with my crew of guys I've been playing with since SOCOM 2, we were like, man, this is terrible. Like, we were pumped up to play with each other, and we were like, even having that bring togetherness, it still couldn't hold us together to play this damn game.
That's such a shame. Damn you, SOCOM. Colby,
but
what about you?
Back 1 second. All right, so on that note, the same team that created SOCOM 2 is creating a predecessor to SOCOM 2 that's going to be called H-Hour. And it's the same concept. It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be called SOCOM 2, the pre-sequel.
Nope, it's going to be called H-Hour.
It's going to be COMSO.
Yeah. That's cool, though. I'm glad that they're coming back with that studio, then.
Yep, it's the same guys that developed it. It looks it looks similar, but obviously much better graphics and much smoother. But oh man, I'm pumped. It's gonna be on PC too.
I was gonna ask you if there's a PC release planned. Yeah,
PC's first, and then PS4.
Wow.
Oh, whoa.
Did
What
they
do you
become
know?
a private studio, or are they SOE still?
No, it's a private studio.
Wow. Colby, what about you?
All right, let me preface this by saying that I am, by and large, a PC gamer. And I have been since I was a little kid. And there are two games that, first of all, I shouldn't have been playing as a little kid. But second of all, really brought me into PC gaming. And those games were Doom 2 and Duke Nukem 3D. Now, I definitely shouldn't have been playing those games as a kid, but that Duke Nukem 3D was probably like the coolest game you could play back in that time.
Well, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, I mean, you got first of all John St. John as the voice actor. That's the first thing you hear in that game.
Did you guys know he called me?
Yeah, okay, so side story right here. Real quick, I'll make it real quick. Okay, so I went to Ramen Con. I'm an unforgivable geek. I went to Ramen Con up in Indiana, and John St. John was there, and it was amazing. And we talked to him, and we were in his panel, and all sorts of stuff like that. And he was calling people and like either leaving voicemails or talking to him. So I had to go up there and have him call Jesse. I get up there, and he's like, hey, is this Jesse? And fucking talks to him, and it was amazing. And he played it over the loudspeaker for everybody to hear. It was the best thing ever. But
oh, yeah, hell yeah, man.
Okay, so anyway, I think you probably know where my biggest letdown is going from here, and that is Duke Nukem Forever. Now, for those of you who don't know the backstory on this game, it was promised all the way back, because Duke Nukem 3D, I think, came out in 98, something like that. I want to say like 96, 98, something like that. But anyway, it was promised like since the N64 era that we were going to get a new Duke Nukem game. And obviously I was super excited about it back then. And then I was also super excited about it when it was going to be a PS2 game. And then I was super excited about it again like 15 years later when it was going to be on PC and stuff. So you get the game, and it's a piece of shit that is nothing like the namesake, and it was just a huge letdown.
Yeah,
nothing like its predecessor.
I think everyone knows it's a big letdown, though.
And it's not just because it wasn't like its predecessor, because I don't care about that. What I do care about is the fact that it was just a bad game. Texture quality and stuff was horrible. You could only carry around 2 guns in what was supposed to be a classic shooter where you can pull out a BFG and a chain gun and a shotgun and a chainsaw all out in 3 seconds from hammer space. But I don't know. It just didn't feel right, and it was a mess.
Yeah. Well,
Jess, what about you, though?
Yeah, sad stuff.
Unless you guys have something to say about Duke Nukem.
Well, no. I love
like 3D. I've got balls of steel.
If I was to say anything about Duke Nukem, y'all would chew me out, and this podcast would go on for about 25 minutes.
Oh my god!
What? You
Hold
don't
on,
like
yeah.
3D?
Now let's hear. Let the audience hear. Come on.
No. We'll save this for a different time.
Oh my god, Todd Woodmansee.
You son of a bitch!
I thought I knew you.
I'll never play Diablo 3 now.
Womp womp.
He secretly loves Duke Nukem Forever.
You would be the only one. You would have a throne of Duke Nukem 3. They could build houses. the disc for Duke Nukem 3D is cheaper than lumber and bricks and mortar and what etc. And they can actually build houses out of that more cheaper than they could out of anything else.
Well, you could, but they buried them all in the desert. So.
They dug out all the fucking ET cartridges and then reburied Duke Nukem 3D CDs
forever.
So
yeah.
I wasn't,
not 3D.
I wasn't gonna say that I liked the game. I was gonna say that I don't like any of the Duke Nukem games, any of them.
Well, I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
Still, you're wrong, but I respect your opinion.
You're wrong. Wrong. It's not an opinion. You're wrong.
Your opinion is wrong, is what I'm trying to say.
Your argument is invalid.
Yeah.
We'll make this real quick, and I've
go
already
ahead and tell us
discussed
yours,
this.
Jesse.
Yeah, you already know it. I've already told you, and you were really sad. And I've looked it up a little bit more, and when I played it, I had a different expectation of it. I don't know what I was thinking exactly. I was looking at this as I think more of like I wanted more like the way the back of the thing looked to me. It looked like it was like, hey man, you get this really cool game where you explore dungeons and you get to build this awesome town. And I was beyond excited. And it's the game Dark Cloud, and it came out on PS2. And like I said, I went and looked at some footage of it, and I think honestly my opinion might have shifted, but me back then was expecting something different. And I don't know. Like I said, I just went and looked up a bunch of videos today when I was writing this, and I was like, wow, this actually looks pretty decent. And I know Dark Cloud 2 was much better of a game than the first one, but I never got to play that. But I can understand why people would get mad at me over the whole thing. And now that I look at it, it's got great reviews. Some of the videos I watched, it actually looks enticing. Like I would actually play it now, but me then would not play it. I got disappointed. I guess I got stuck in the dungeons, got my ass whipped, and I got mad because you didn't actually get to like do these really cool villages.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I mean, if you're looking for like a Sim City style like building experience, then it's nothing to be had. But,
well, then I'll just go play SimCity 2000 on my Super NES and get the best.
Like SimCity 2013.
I played Dark Cloud 2, and that game was fantastic, but I didn't play Dark Cloud 1.
Oh, it's so good, dude. And oh my god, if you have a powerful enough PC, emulate Dark Cloud 2 if you own the disc, everyone. It looks incredible. It looks incredible. Oh my god.
Wait, you said pirate Dark Cloud 2?
No, I said don't pirate it. I said emulate it.
Oh, but you said it looks incredible. What do you mean?
Yeah, I said emulate it if you own the disc. It looks incredible if you pump up all the resolution and stuff like that. Because it's like that cell shaded. And cell shading, for some reason, translates so well with emulation, like upscaling.
Wow, I'm looking at some screenshots, and it actually doesn't look bad at all.
I haven't thought about this game in so long. I just got super excited to emulate this game.
Yeah, I emulate it probably about once a year and play through it. Like, it's that big of a game to me. That's why I got so sad about Jesse hating on Dark Cloud. Not necessarily hating on, but that's sort of like the baby version of that. Not that Dark Cloud 2 isn't miles better.
Yeah. Oh, well. So I'm actually going to cut this. I'm actually going to cut the podcast for today since we ran out of time talking about games.
Well, shucks.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. If you support our Patreon, we'd be able to have longer episodes.
What you could seriously do is comment and tell us any games that you have been let down by. That would be good.
Yeah, that'd be good to hear from the 0 listeners.
Hey, eventually someone's going to listen to this.
Actually, there's quite a few people that listen to this. Thank you very much.
Well, there you go.
I listen to it.
You can't like your own stuff. All right. Colby, I will let you go ahead and plug your stuff in. So, go ahead.
Well, you can find me, if you like my opinions and voice, on TechAmp. That's TechAmp on YouTube and Tech_Amp on Twitter. And I also have a blog live now on techampmedia.com. So you can find that there. And if you want to join our discussion on games bi-weekly, you can find the Game Club at reddit.com/r/thegameclub, all one word. And there you can find more details on our bi-weekly show that we're about to do this Friday, which I'm not sure if the podcast will be out by then, but
it'll be out before, or it'll be on Friday, but it'll be before we do that, so...
Okay, so if you're listening to this, then tune into our Twitch stream of that and talk about Smash Bros. 3DS with us.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
And if it's too late, join in on the Reddit subreddit and find out what game we're playing in the next 2 weeks. So,
yeah, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
So yeah, that's it for today's podcast. You can find more episodes, podcast episodes, that is, recommendations and other content at soundgamecritique.com. You can check us out on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/soundgamecritique, or download us through your podcast app like Stitcher and whatever, iTunes stuff, whatever, guys, dude, fuck. By searching it, Sound Game Critique. You can also email me, leave me some feedback, some questions, or just to say hi. Love letters. I love them all. soundgamecritique@gmail.com. You can follow me on Twitter. I'll most likely follow you back too. Definitely if you post really cool shit. My Twitter handle is soundgamecritic. And that's it. So thanks for listening, guys. And remember, play some fucking games.
Bye.